Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans and Randomania fans alike. Welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2020 match between Captainnerd2 and SledgeCalamy, both with records of 1-4. I am Sonny Roth 11, and joining me this evening is One Fine Day. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good.
So, this week, the final week of the Swiss stage of the tournament, we have Chaos Week. And as such, we have an extra loose item instead of an incentivized Fiend Dungeon on top of the loose canal itself. OFD, my friend, what are you expecting to see from the runners?
Well, with 3 loose items, there's a very high likelihood that we're going to find good gear, a good sword, the ribbon, well, a ribbon. And I think both these players have picked the same party, fighter, red, white, black, pretty standard issue party, and it should serve them well in this race. But it all comes down to routing and execution and just tactical decision making.
I do have to agree with that, and if they don't find that canal early, that could lead to some big issues later on. But the gates have been dropped, and these runners should be off any moment now. Is there anything you're hoping to see here at level 1 Magic, OFD?
Nuke and Fade, always.
I like it. The go-tos of Nuke and Fade are quite nice.
Is Captainnerd's stream just frozen? Or is he just making the decision? Okay, well, we see exit in the White Mage 4th slot. Red Wizard can learn it, but with both players having a White Mage right at the start, that should not be a problem. And Quad X, Lit 2, and Stun. I would want to get Quad X and Lit 2 right away. Stun is also... Well, Stun's not really useful because we have Quad X.
Yeah, and since Stun and Quad X are both power word spells, it's the one is a little more useful than the other, that one being Quad X. But we did see houses for... What was that? 4,900 gold?
Wow, hitting Manhattan prices on housing.
Yeah, that housing market is far from inexpensive this time around.
Now, interestingly, SledgeCalamy is going straight for Provoca. I'm not a big fan of this play because I like to have money going into the Provoca shops, particularly for like saving items. But there's value to doing it this way. Captainnerd is going to the traditional TOF.
Now, Sledge did get turn order. Was attacked by one pirate, that pirate missed, and then Lit 2 goes off, getting rid of all the other pirates, immediately putting him to level 3, which definitely works out. Imps with Poison Touch over on Captainnerd's side as SledgeCalamy picks up the Oxy Ale from Bicky.
And there are those cheap tents, but he's not going to be able to afford just buying 30 or 40 of them, maybe 50 tents right off the bat. And that's kind of why I don't like doing this early Provoca play. Captainnerd's going to give us our first treasure checks after he gets out of these spiders. Then the flip side of this, of course, is that Captainnerd is taking this TOF at level 1.
And there's level 2 Fade from SledgeCalamy in the White Magic shot. We see level 2 Lit 3 as well in the Black Magic shop. So that early find of Fade is going to be quite nice.
But again, no money to buy spells. And with 3 mages, your spell costs are going to be quite expensive. Meanwhile, Captainnerd did not avail himself of Lit 2. It's kind of expensive for the time. It's 150 gold, I believe. So this spider fight is taking quite a bit longer than he would like.
And in the first chest, Captainnerd finds a silver dagger. Not a bad find. There was a question in chat from Demon RHK. Was Fade in a red mage learnable slot? Red mages can learn all level 2 magic. Sledge taking off from Provoca, heading back towards Canaria. Could be heading towards Matoya's cave to see what lies within her chests. As Captainnerd has a dead fighter on his side, trying to conserve spell charges.
Well, I still think he has Lit 2, so a hit is, using his weapons would be thing to do in that situation. And there's an adamant, so lots of value in those early TOF checks, but not a lot of gold.
No, there's not a lot of gold, but those TOF checks are definitely nice, and there's Squint coming out from Imps in an ambush! And that's a wipe in Temple of Fiends for Captain Nerd. As Sledge heads towards Matoya's cave to see what lies in there. Now, Captain Nerd does have the information as to where that loose adamant is. Sledge has yet to go into Temple of Fiends, so that information is not as accessible right now for Sledge.
Second wipe for Captain Nerd. Oh, this is a very unfortunate start. Nothing much you can do about these bad starts, except take an imp fight at the start of the game. And I don't like to take the imp fight at the start of the game. It's a 30-second loss. And if the imps aren't rolling anything, and there's a canal, so that's helpful.
Canal in Matoya's cave, and we've got a loose adamant in Temple of Fiends. Definitely a solid start on the seed. Sledge just down one light warrior right now, and Captain Nerd about to lose his fighter if he can't run. And Squint is coming out again from the Imps. Captain Nerd does make it out with two light warriors standing. Sledge heading back to Provoca.
Oh no, Captain Nerd forgets that he has exit. This is going to cost him some time and possibly his run.
Ooh, yeah, that could do it. Using Quad X to get rid of these spiders, definitely something that can be done. And Sledge picking up some more of the magic here at level 2, getting Brack, Lit 3, and one more Fade Caster. Captain Nerd pulls Garland here. Let's see what Garland has. Quad X going out. Garland's got nothing.
Well, we didn't see anything from Garland. He won the luck of the draw. There's a tail and a chime.
Royal's having some decent stuff this time around. That tail very well may come in handy later on. But Captain Nerd does have Garland down, has made it through all of that first set of checks. About to head over to Provoca and be in a slightly better position, I'd say.
Well, not only are houses expensive, but pure potions are expensive, and soft potions are ridiculously expensive at $1,200 a pop. Not gonna really get a 12-pack. I'm not gonna need a 10-pack of those soft potions.
Definitely not anytime soon, and those pures sitting at 106, you hardly see that. So that's definitely a rarity to run across.
I don't think we got a lot of money either in the early game, in any of the early game locations that we've seen so far. Did Captain Nerd not save?
I don't think he did.
Oh no, he has HP, so he had to have saved.
Okay. I was a little worried there when you mentioned that, so... Alright, we have Captain Nerd heading over towards Provoca and Sledge heading towards the Temple of Fiends. Now, will Sledge remember to check for that loose adamant?
Oh, he'll definitely check for that. He has to. I hope so.
And will that loose adamant lead to anything useful right now, since there are so many things available in the seed right now?
Well, with having the canal, there's an argument for just skipping those chests, but Sledge needs gold.
Indeed, and Sledge is going to go ahead and check them, but going to reset out of an unrunnable spider battle. Now here are the Imps that are absolutely nasty due to Squint, but Sledge does get some luck on his side and does not get hit by Squint.
I was to say 5K tents. Are you buying 5K tents, or are they 5K apiece?
Now, Sledge does pick up that adamant, which is very good, and he's going to go ahead and exit out of the Temple of Fiends just to run back in and get into an encounter right before Garland.
Now, an interesting choice in spell selection. Sledge opted for Lit 2, but no Quad X, and Captain Nerd opted for Quad X, but no Lit 2. I think you want both of those things if you want the best out of the Black Magic of Tier 1. Of course, Sledge has Fade at Tier 2, so Chaos not putting up much.
Yeah, grabbing both Quad X and Lit 2 for the level 1 selection definitely is a strong thing to do. Mainly because Quad X is going to insta-kill most of these early game enemies. And then Lit 2, I mean, it's your first sweeper you have available.
Chat's corrected me, and I can see it on the screen. Captain Nerd did pick up Lit 2 after clearing TOF. Would have come in handy during the initial dive. You know, just Lit 2 a spider group instead of meleeing them down. But he's well situated. I don't know if Sledge will go back for Quad X.
I kind of hope Sledge goes back for Quad X, but I don't see it actually being something that is guaranteed to happen, as Captain Nerd runs into Batoya's cave and starts checking the chest to pick up that canal very quickly, as well as about 5,000 gold, where Sledge is now headed towards the Dwarf Cave, gonna check these two chests and turn in the adamant. So just under 1,000 gold for Sledge from the two chests, and that's the ruby from the Dwarven Blacksmith.
Definitely a nice thing to find. That's 2 items in this flag set. The Titan's Trove, which is always locked on a ruby, and Sarda, which you either need the ruby or the floater to access.
I absolutely agree on that one, and the nice thing about getting the ruby this early on is that with those 2 locations, that's also more EXP and more gold that these runners can earn, and with the prices of things on the seed so far, it's gonna be merited to have.
Definitely.
Captain Nerd getting into a dicey situation after getting hit with some heat, but makes it out of the encounter and is able to get healed up and ready to go again.
Oh, Captain Nerd does not have any saving items. I don't think Sledge picked up healing items, not healing items, but saving items. I don't think Sledge picked up any either. Again, this is a reason why I want to do Matoya before Provoka if I'm lacking for gold, because he's got to go back to Provoka to grab all these spells. Also, we saw Viz at Tier 2 White. That's something that's pretty useful. Xfer, I don't find Xfer as useful, but it has its advocates.
Xfer's hit or miss. It can be nice if you have to go for Xfer Brack on Chaos or even certain bosses, since that will make them more susceptible to Brack. But outside of that, I really don't see any extra use for it.
Well, I mean, it's like 6% to land Brack after the Xfer, and it's about 20% to land the Xfer, so it's like a 1% shot to land an instant death, except you had to do it over 2 actions. So
Yep. Legend of Battle here with some Gerwolves that are looking pretty beefy right now. They've taken 2 Lit 2s so far, and only half of them are down. But this should take out the other half of the Gerwolf pack, and that's going to be a decent amount of EXP for Sledge's Light Warriors, as Captain Nerd checks level 3 Black Magic, where we see Lock 2, Lock, and Confuse. Sledge picking up the Power Bonk and a Ribbon, though, in Titan's Trove.
I definitely prefer Sledge's decision to just go straight for the Titan's Trove and Sarda. Captain Nerd does not have enough money to get the spells he would want out of Elfland, so he's almost certainly going to have to take another trip here unless there's just no magic worth getting. And there's also the shop item possibility here, and armor, because I don't think either of these players have any good armor yet. Oh, there's warp and temper and fast, so level 4 black magic is loaded with all the good stuff, and Captain Nerd cannot afford any of it.
Level 4 black magic has all the good stuff this time around. As SledgeCalamy enters Sarda's cave to talk to Sarda and obtain Matoya's crystal eye.
The crystal is one of the more annoying fetch quest items to find because you have to go back all the way to Matoya. It's out of the way, and you usually will get those 3 chests of Matoyas right off the bat, so it's a double dip. It's much nicer to get that crystal from the Royals or from Bicky, Royals especially.
It's not bad to find with the airship in tow as well, but unfortunately, none of those situations have panned out so far. You see Captain Nerd sailing around, heading towards the dwarf cave, getting ready to turn in that adamant. And Sledge healing up some light warriors after a battle that may have been somewhat rough. So, OFD, after grabbing the crystal from Sarda, would you head towards Crescent Lake, or would you go to turn in that crystal immediately?
Turn in the crystal immediately, because you don't have the canoe yet. If you had the canoe, you could go the long way around to that river that goes into the Northern Sea, and dock right next to Matoya's cave. But, I mean, you can also use the ice cave docks east of...
Oh no! Oh no! Captain Nerd just got slept into a nuke from wolves!
Woo! And this is where the lack of saving items is really burning both of these runners. I think SledgeCalamy has none, and Captain Nerd has none, because they couldn't afford any. I would want to get some saving items as soon as possible, and that's an argument to go to Crescent Lake, although the monsters around Crescent Lake are going to be problematic. Captain Nerd not going to... I don't think he got the ruby from... I don't think he picked up the ruby from the blacksmith, so... Fortunately, well, what does he have?
No, he has not turned in the adamant to pick up the ruby, so unfortunately, Captain Nerd will not have the information of where Matoya's crystal eye is, but Sledge, on the other hand, did end up getting all that done, got the power bonk, and got Matoya's crystal eye from those turn-ins, and has decided to head towards Crescent Lake. I think the lack of save items has finally gotten to the point that Sledge is going, I need them now.
Yeah, the bad news is he's going to have to take all these fights, and he's running low on Fades. He does have Lit 3s, he has Lit 2s. It's all Lit 2s he wants.
It's those Fade charges right now. They are so valuable that it makes everything quite difficult.
Yeah, but just the time taken on these fights. I mean, Sledge would probably want to take these fights, but it's just so much time.
And so much damage going out because of these Cobras being able to hit so hard, as well as the Scorpions themselves. They hit hard anyway, without any armor whatsoever. Captain Nerd does make it into Crescent Lake first. Sledge not too far behind, but definitely starting to run low on heal pots.
Those were some cheap cabins at 59. But Captain Nerd doesn't have any money. Captain Nerd has no money. Sledge has at least 20k, so he'll be well situated for items.
Yeah, Sledge is definitely going to be in a much better spot right now when it comes to items than Captain Nerd is. And Sledge is buying some houses. I didn't see if he bought any tents, but the Circle of Sages has the loot.
Oh no, so this means that we have Sea Shrine open to us, we have Mirage open to us, we have the Front of Earth Cave, and we have the place that we don't like to go, or at least I don't like to go, Marsh. And Captain Nerd not buying any items because he doesn't have money. Did Sledge buy cabins? I hope he did.
I saw him buy houses. I didn't catch to see if he bought cabins.
Yeah, these runners need to get like at least 30 cabins, preferably 40 with no apparent save scum looking viable. Captain Nerd is going, I believe he's going towards Mirage Tower.
Either Mirage or going to head towards Sea Shrine.
Yeah, it looks like this is a Sea Shrine dive. With Captain Nerd's levels, he has a spellbook for Sea Shrine, definitely, but his levels leave much to be desired.
They really do, whereas Sledge is low level, but at least has a little bit of time invested into the warriors with decent encounters.
But I think Sledge is, level 9 last I saw him? So, level 9, level 10, I think that's sufficient with this spellbook to contemplate a dive into Sea Shrine or Mirage with Fade. But level 5, Captain Nerd's got to try to take this Gerpy fight and find out that they are beefy.
Yeah, and he is not looking too hot right now. Sitting at under 1,000 gold, may not actually be able to use the inn. About to check the item shop, where he could buy 10 cabins and save.
But he doesn't. He doesn't. I don't get it.
Instead, he's going to check the inn to see the price. It's 373. He does have enough to make that save. And it looks like he's going to head into the Sea Shrine. As Sledge docks outside of Matoya's cave and is going to turn in that crystal. Captain Nerd has entered the Sea Shrine, and Matoya holds the slab. We are on a loose progression hunt right now between the Sea Shrine, the Mirage Tower, or Marsh.
Or Front of Earth.
Or the Front of Earth, yes. And if I had my way with this, never Marsh.
Never Marsh, indeed. Never Marsh. Yeah, C is probably the best of these because you can full clear it right now. You do have Lit 3, you do have Fade, so there's a chance you can take down Kraken, or Kraken as somebody calls it. C in chat calls for Mirage.
I also see a call from Marsh, which I can respect it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Marsh. I will do it because it is a quick check. I'm just not a fan of it.
Well, these runners do have exit, and they don't really have levels. But they also don't have the key, so you're leaving behind 3 chests that may have your answer.
And that is very true. Captain Nerd in a bit of a sticky situation right now with a Gershark and a Shark. trying to decide what spells he wants to use. He doesn't have too terribly many spells. Keeps leaving that Black Mage in the front row, and has it just getting hit down so fast.
I don't think Captainnerd has any armor either. So these Gurshok's just hitting for 116 damage a pop. And he's undersupplied in heal potions. I don't think there were any heal potions in the on-rack shop. There weren't any heal potions in Crescent Lake either. So the item purchasing has just been dreadful for these runners. Sledge making his way to Sea Shrine. I think that's the odd play to make here. Now that the crystal has turned into nothing. Oh, I guess he's not going to Sea Shrine.
Ooh, Captainnerd getting attacked by 2 water elementals and then gets a first strike against a sea snake encounter. Right now, he has both the Black Mage and the White Mage laying on the ground. No way to revive either of them because he does not have any source of life.
Alan in chat saying the White Mage is the most important member of the party if you dive sea. Yeah, with Fade, obviously, the White Mage is going to be a valuable contributor. Oh, and of course, with Exit. I mean, she's obviously going to be something you want to have in your party upright. Oh, there's some iron armor, so that's the first piece of armor Captainnerd has that's been actually anything good. Oh wait, there was a flame armor.
Getting that iron armor is quite nice. A wizard staff as well, which will cast Confuse on use. So if the canoe is found anytime soon, that would be useful against carry for a low-level kill. A house is a pretty big find, very substantial. And a soft potion.
And a cap, which is not useful.
And it's a whole one absorb, right?
Now Sledge will be able to buy most of what he wants out of this level 4 shop. Not enough to buy everything right now. And that's a big pile of gold and a heal staff.
And that max gold chest was the sea incentive chest. So that's pretty good to find. Captainnerd's now going to be in a fairly good spot with gold. He's just got to be able to make it out of here now. And that's going to be the question, whether or not he can make it out.
I don't think Captainnerd checked any of these chests on the floor before cracking. So he may have to go back for them. But with 2 party members up, I think he has to be worried.
I have to agree as well, but he makes it out of the Sea Shrine in one piece. Only has those 2 warriors standing right now, but he does have 90,000 gold in his pocket. So he's looking pretty good in that respect.
So where is SledgeCalamy going? I don't get it. He's been on the Wolf map just sailing around. Thought he was going to Sea Shrine, or maybe he was going to Barrage?
Sledge is heading towards the Sea Shrine now. What he did was he turned around and he went to Elfland because he hadn't checked level 3 or 4 magics.
Oh yeah.
And Captainnerd left Onrak without buying any save items.
I just don't get it. Overall encounters are the worst thing to find in this game. They just drain so much time, and it is so... I know it's aggravating to save scum, but you have to do it in these flags. You just have to, at least for now, until we turn on no overworld saving. Hint, hint, hint.
Oh gosh, yes. I do have to agree with the save scumming comment, though. It is absolutely huge. And Sledge going into Sea Shrine right now, immediately getting greeted by 4 sea snakes that decide to ambush him. Gonna go ahead and get a fade off, and these sea snakes don't have too much HP.
That's good to find. And with that HP being low, the sea snakes are actually not too bad to take. The 4-pack there is worth about 1,000 experience base, which is, pretty good experience for this part of the game.
I do have to agree, Captainnerd, though, turning around, heading back to Elfland, has the money to be able to buy all of the black magic necessary. Gonna duck into the armor shop. There's a steel armor for sale there for about 20 grand. But that's about it.
Steel armor not useful. We got flame already, and we don't have any other light warriors that can wear a steel armor.
Alright, Sledge. Heading deeper into the Sea Shrine, but getting stopped by some Sahagins along the way. The good old Wizard Sahag, Red Sahag fight. It's everybody's favorite fight in the game, because nobody likes this fight.
Now, in future versions of the Randomizer, it's already on beta. This fight will be runnable, thanks to a little hackery that yours truly put together to rearrange the code for loading battles and processing runs, and the information stored for each formation.
Which, I have to say, OFD, I really appreciate you doing that.
Oh, thanks.
That is probably my least favorite unrunnable encounter. Oh my gosh! Did you see that crit that Sledge's warrior just took? Or Sledge's fighter just took?
Well, I didn't see it, but I saw the aftermath.
Yeah, that was a 278 damage crit. And we see a marsh play coming up from Captainnerd. I could feel you just hurting on the inside there.
Well, I feel bad for Captainnerd because this play never works, except for the time that it does.
Unless you're Caleb, then it always works. And he has completely forgotten about the adamant as he keeps looking at it in his inventory.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. How does he not know about the adamant? I don't get it.
Now, I do have a theory right now that he's just waiting to turn in the adamant until he has the TNT, but that may not be viable. Sledge has made it to the mermaid floor and has picked up the max gold chest, so there's at least a plus there.
You have to turn in the adamant before you go on these late game loose item hunts.
Yeah, and this is definitely the later end of the early game. Sledge picking up all the stuff that Captainnerd already picked up here in Mermaids. But I'd argue is in a much better situation than Captainnerd was in.
Well, SledgeCalamy has some cabins for one, but he's also got decent levels of 12, 13 on his party. Not sure why. I think Sledge has a couple chests here left to check, and I don't think there were. Like I said, I don't think there were heal potions in on-rack item shop. So a deeper dive into Kraken's dive might be. Oh, there is the canoe. Oh no!
And that is a painful find. Great find for Sledge, but Captainnerd probably not going to be too happy about that.
This just opened up Sledge's lead dramatically. Now he's still got, I think, 3 chests left that he can check here. They're all pretty far apart. Oh wait, there's actually 4.
Yeah, he's got 4 chests that he can still check here, and he keeps running into these ghosts, which not the greatest thing to run into because they will hit hard. But you can't be upset at it. He keeps getting first strikes, though, which are absolutely amazing to see.
Burning his 104 charge, though. And now in chat saying skipping the canoe and diving mermaids, that's paddling.
I do have to agree, but there was an X-Cal found in Marsh.
Still not worth it. Still not worth it.
Oh, Sledge getting ambushed by this encounter. Gonna have to get out of here and get out of here quick. Out of lit 3s, he's got one fade.
Oh
He's up
no.
lit 2. Fade going out, 131, 138, 176. That takes out the normal shark. Lit 2 going out, 50 damage and 88 damage. The 2 Gur sharks are still up. He's out of fade. He's gonna try to run. 91 damage going out onto the red mage. That's gonna be
Barely makes it out.
Black mage is the mage that survives, though.
And Sledge just has to warp out now. He has to leave those chests behind. It's too much to go back in there.
And he only has the chest north of TFC and TFC remaining. With just enough warp casts, no less. The luck from Sledge right there was just gorgeous. Sledge with the canoe deciding, I'm not going to go dive deeper into sea right now. I'm going to head up towards the waterfall as Captainnerd finds the defense sword in Marsh.
So that's X-Cal in defense, but it's still not worth it to go into that terrible, terrible cave and miss out of the canoe. Captainnerd is going to be searching everywhere because he did not get those chests on the way to mermaids on the right side of that mermaid side floor.
Yeah. Oh, there's stone poison coming out. And Sledge immediately resets after seeing that stone poison come out. I can't blame him.
Yeah, these are just some pretty nasty enemy ones. Wolves with nuke and slap, mummies with stone poison.
Yeah, these have been pretty evil so far, and I gotta say, I'm kind of liking this right now. And to give you all a recap as to what happened with Captainnerd actually getting nuked, he got into a wolf encounter, an encounter with 5-6 wolves, and tried to run from them, couldn't run. Turn 1, they ended up using fire. Turn 2, he tried to run again, he got sleep locked. Turn 3, nuke.
Oh, wow. So that's just bad luck all around.
Really was. Sledge continuing through the waterfall, making quick work of the Mummy and Wizard Mummy pack, getting some decent EXP. I gotta say, I'm liking Sledge's play here. He's getting some good money and good EXP, and we've got map strats coming up from Captainnerd2, trying to figure out where his location is right now on the map.
And of course, none of these players have soft potions, as far as I know, because they were ridiculously expensive. So that's making this waterfall play and an ordeals play really problematic.
I have to agree, and another thing that's really not helping is now the source of exit and the source of warp are both stoned. Unless Sledge bought warp on the red mage as well, in which case Sledge is going to be in a pretty good spot to get out of here.
Well, Sledge does not have warp on that red mage. I think they have a soft potion. Both of them should have a soft potion, but I think he's saving it for when he gets to the end here. Sledge trying out this Lit 2 against a Mud Wolf that will not work very well, but does the job.
And which is quite good. And he had 2 soft potions available.
Alright, so he's going to be a okay shape. And he's using those Cure 3.
I saw a second enemy start out with fire, and I'm not going to lie, I immediately tensed up. Captainnerd has made it to Mirage Tower and is healing up his Light Warriors, getting ready to make the dive. Switching order to get that Black Mage down at the bottom slot, which I like, while SledgeCalamy talks to the robot and picks up the TNT from the robot. And I believe that was an ice sword I saw on Sledge's screen as well.
That's good news for Sledge. I think that's the first actually decent sword that he's had for his fighter.
You could actually look at it and say, nice sword. Alright, Captainnerd checking Mirage Floor 1. Has quite a bit of gold, but outside of that, not much else to be said about Mirage 1.
Well, from our perspective, we know there's only one more item that is left and loose, and there are so many incentives open to us. We still have to find a shop item, we still have ordeals, we still have ice. So, the odds are that that floater is at one of those incentive locations.
I like Sledge's play right here. He has decided to go past the on-rack and head towards the caravan to see what the caravan holds. And the shop item is going to be in Gaia this time around. Captainnerd, though, finally getting some decent EXP from fights here in Mirage Tower. Going to put him into a decent position to continue going through this place. He is running low on healing potions, which is the only downside, and he is just losing quite a bit of time due to not having that canoe, where Sledge does have that canoe at the ready.
So, what do you think would be a good thing to do with this canoe? We know Ordeals is going to be problematic against the mummies. So what do you do with the canoe?
I would still head to Ordeals right now and then head towards Ice Cave after that. Captainnerd checking greater than less than room right now.
So you'd go straight for Ordeals despite the stone poison on the mummies? That's interesting.
I would take my chances with it. We see Nuke at level 5 in slot 2. That is going to be Red Wizard learnable, but the Black Mage can go ahead and get Nuke right out the gates. An Invis 2 in slot 1 of the level 5 Black Magic, extremely nice. The greater than less than room for Captainnerd was a bust, unfortunately. Alright. Sledge with the canoe in hand has some decisions to make. Could head to Ordeals, could head towards Dwarf Cave to turn in that TNT and face the bridge boss. Go to Ice.
There's also Volcano, I believe.
Volcano is on the table as well. Alright. Narek holding the Thor hammer this time around.
Oh, waterfall is a total waste of time.
No Mjolnir necessary this time around. Captainnerd has come back to Onrak and is going to take another dive here at the Sea Shrine.
Well, that's good news for Captainnerd. It's going to help him, stay in this race.
It definitely will. He has a little more exploration done than Sledge does, but unfortunately, when he finds that canoe, then the exploration that he'll have done will be all for naught. Captainnerd, though, heading over towards the Kraken side of the Sea Shrine instead of going back towards the Mermaid side. I wonder if he feels that he can take on Kraken.
What's doable for this spellbook? You have Dull Fade and Lit 3, which is better than Fade against Kraken.
To agree with that one. Now he does find a pro ring in one of these chests here on the prize of the 3rd floor. And
look at that armor screen. No armor except for flame armor on the fighter.
So we have not seen life yet.
Yeah, I think life is confirmed to be at 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think life is going to be 7 or 8. He did drop Captainnerd did drop Excalibur and then immediately reset out because he did not mean to drop Excalibur. And he's going to move the heal staff and the defense sword just to have those in better locations as well. Where Sledge is heading towards the ice cave, going to get this next incentivized area checked out.
Now, mummies appear here too, so this is a dangerous dive, but given the odds are that an incentive holds our answer, he has to take one or the other.
That is a very big possibility. I mean, we still have need of the Mystic Key. It's very possible that the floater is going to be required. And we still need the rod and the cube. And even one of those could be locked behind the bottle, which that requires the floater. Sledge so far getting quite a few Frosties to show up here on this first floor of ice. Captainnerd is back into the Sea Shrine, heading towards Kraken side. Sledge trying to run away from some Frost Giants and Frost Wolves. Unfortunately, not getting the luck to run away from them. And Captainnerd just lost both the Red Mage and the White Mage.
That's an immediate reset right there. Good call from Nerd. Get out of that fight. You can't move on with two-man threats in this situation.
I have to agree, and Sledge about to be a box in ice. And he does pick up the crown from that box, which is a nice pickup, and then immediately drops down to see what the next few boxes hold. I gotta say, I like where Sledge's levels are at right now. He's looking pretty good on levels.
Yep, 16 is great for this stage of the game. We would want to end the game probably around level 24, usually, with a 4-man. A little less is fine. Sledge does need to find a good sword, and maybe that Excal and Marsh will be the only decent sword that we see in this run.
We still have that Mosmian being somewhere in the world, as well as the game changer itself, the Vorpal.
We do have lots of temper charges at tier 4, so having a good sword is not the ultimate game changer. I mean, something like Sun Sword, even an Ice Sword, can work. We do have Fades, and we have Nukes, so we can get past the Fiendry fights. Still, it would be better to have one of the big 3 or 4 swords, Masa, Excal, Vorpal, or Sun Sword if you really need to.
And I do agree with that. Getting the big swords for the damage output would be extremely nice to see. But with those temper charges, like you said, it's not really a huge requirement. It would just take more temper in order to hit that damage cap point.
Yep, and we have the bonk as well. And we do have evasion stacks at tier 5 white, available to both the red mage and the white.
Captainnerd trying to take down a Gurpeed for some extra EXP. Sledge finding an Opal Armor here on the first floor revisit of Ice, and some more Frost Dragons. So is Sledge going to find another loose item here in Ice Cave? He is not, but he will find another piece of armor, a silver helmet, that could be used for the fighter itself. But he casts Exit, gets out of Ice Cave, a play that I like, because that does save him the extra steps. Very nice play from Sledge. Some might even call that a veteran move.
Well, I think it's a pretty standard move. So chat's asking, do you do Crown Ordeals now or die Volcano while you're over here as Sledge? Well, you have the tools to take out Volcano now. Problem is, there's a good chance that last loose is not required because we only need key, we need rod, we need cube. There's still the Opal bracelet out there for grabs. So, and we also have Slab Turn-In. That's a key item. I don't think I want to do Volcano here, but there's nothing too wrong with that. And he's got the house to heal up, so he's going in.
Yeah, so I have to agree with your assessment on the last loose item maybe not being required.
Oh my! Captainnerd gets the big sword, the Masa. That trivializes his whole Mars play, but SledgeCalamy is never going to get that Masa.
Yeah, the Masmune and C. Extremely nice to see. North of TFC. Great find from Captainnerd. That's going to solve a lot of damage issues that may come up during the seed. Captainnerd pushing on, though. Little risky, in my opinion. But he has not grabbed that canoe yet. So I can understand why he's pushing on without saving. He's in a bit of a dicey situation, though. Cannot run. He keeps failing to run. This could be bad, but he finally gets out of the encounter. He's gonna cure 3 up to make sure that both the white mage and the fighter have decent HP values in case something else comes up, as Sledge is running through the hairpin chests in the volcano. And Captain Nerd has obtained that canoe. He is now able to progress more throughout the seed. He exits out almost immediately. Sledge taking on a quadruple Pede encounter, and these Pedes have stun touch. When did these Pedes become undead?
Well, with the level he's at level 17 now. I don't think he needs to take these Pede fights anymore. I would just want to find my last progression item, a good sword, which we know, since Massa and X-Cal are out, that Sledge is not likely to find a good sword. But I want to be dig chests and get to incentives. I don't want to get involved in, a lot of these fights that are of fairly marginal value.
There is Sledge's endgame sword, the Sun Sword, coming out of the hairpin chests in Volcano.
Not taking the opportunity to equip that red mage. It's kind of superfluous to put a sword on a red mage, but it does come in handy sometimes.
And the Vorpal right next to it! The game changer has been found!
More like the shame changer, am I right?
That depends upon who you're talking to. Sledge finding a second ribbon. The Volcano Armory itself has just been loaded.
Well, when the volcano has value, it has a lot of the value. Not all of it, of course.
Definitely has a lot of value. And he finishes off the armory with a cloth armor. He has 2 ribbons. He has the Vorpal. He has the Sun Sword. There's
still one loose item. He still does not have Heal Potion.
No, he does not. He has been relying on Cure 3 this whole time. Captain Nerd about to get the TNT from the robot. As Sledge is diving deeper into the volcano right now.
Chat's asking, why is Vorpal important here? Well, in the original game, crit rates were bugged, so a weapon's crit rate was based on its weapon index in the original game, which meant that the Vorpal's selling point, its naturally high crit rate, is completely useless. So the Vorpal's just a glorified silver sword, basically, in the original game. But in the randomizer, crit bug is fixed, so the Masamune and the X-Cal have their natural crit rates, which are 10% and 5% respectively. I believe they are. Or half that. Whereas the Vorpal's crit rate is 30%.
Yeah, the bugged crit rate for Vorpal is much higher than the intended crit rate value for the Vorpal. Oh, Captain Nerd is in a bit of a sticky situation. Makes it out with the white mage standing. Immediately gets into another encounter, and that's going to be a wipe for Captain Nerd.
No! Don't take overworld fights.
Sledge easing over to some of these chests just to get a little bit of gold. So far, the second half of the volcano hasn't been amazing, but it hasn't been terrible either. And now we have the two chests guarded by Agamas that are actually guarded by Agamas! Oh!
Agma facts. The Agma tile has 2 to 4 Agmas now.
I like this Agama fact! This is a great Agama fact. Sledge entering Carrie's floor of the volcano, going to the second Agama tile that has 3 Agamas this time instead of the 2 like last time. And these Agamas cannot hit that fighter very hard, but they do have Slep.
Agma fact, Agmas are going to waste your time. A lot of it. And Sledge is burning through his fade charges to get out of this fight.
Two sides of the coin, one the EXP from the Agamas, the other side, you're about to fight Carrie.
Well, I think Sledge has Nuke at tier 5, and I think about 3 fade charges left, so that should be good.
And the red dragon tile is a multiple zombie dragon tile that are just punching everything out of Sledge's warriors. Sledge is going to have to exit the volcano for right now.
Yeah, he just does not have the healing, and that's the problem with having no heal potions. And Jonathan Yoshi in chat saying, rough zombie D. Yeah, those are rough. But hitting for 80 points damage against a fairly well-armored fighter, that's not a trap tile you want to find.
So question in chat from Spider MBI, how does XCal stack up against Mosmian when both work as intended? So with XCal actually being able to hit the weaknesses that it was intended to, the XCal does have some points where it outweighs the Mosmian, but the Mosmian itself just does so much damage in general, even with Fast and Temper, that more often than not, the damage output from that will be enough to just slightly outweigh XCal, except for very, very rare circumstances. In the case of the first set of the Fiend fights, I would say XCal is a better sword, but in the Fiend refights and Temple of Fiends Revisited, Maza all the way.
Yeah, I think XCal and Master are roughly even for the endgame fights or a Fiend fight, because every Fiend has a type affinity that it is weak to, and XCal hits all weaknesses. It's all monster types. I think it works out that their power per hit is about the same. Masa gets more hits faster, but the XCal is perfectly serviceable for most of the endgame, all the way up to the Chaos.
Yeah, and there's the Earth Rod from the Crown, thanks to the kind old king who's really Astos. I mean, on that note of Maza and XCal having about the same power, they really do. I think it's a 5-point difference on power, but the hit percentage of the Maza is what its selling point really is.
And Simple Sarah in chat with the math. Master is effectively 1 point stronger per hit with the elemental weakness bonus on the XCal.
Thank you, Simple Sarah, for the math check. I greatly appreciate that.
Mass Effects.
Captain Nerd finally turning in the adamant to grab the ruby. And a question from our tracker. Nobody has checked ordeals, right? No, Ellie, nobody has gone to ordeals yet. So Captain Nerd finally getting the ribbon from Titan's Trove. A nice find, still low level overall on his party. Sitting at level 9, where Sledge is sitting right about 16 to 17, and has now entered the Earth Cave. He has the ability to go finish up the volcano, but instead is diving Earth right now. Which I'm not against the dive on Earth. I gotta admit that. I think it's a good play. So Captain Nerd about to head to Sarda and probably be kicking himself a little bit because he will get that crystal. As Sledge is checking the bottom chests of Earth 1, not getting rewarded with much of anything, but does have that knowledge that Earth 1 is barren and is ready to head on to the second floor of the Earth Cave.
I'm a bit surprised that Sledge is taking Earth before going to ordeals. I guess they just have like a hashtag never ordeals mentality with those mummies having stump.
I mean, I can understand taking the caution on that, but with 2 ribbons, going to ordeals wouldn't be that bad. It's just buying the softs that are ridiculously expensive. But even right now, Sledge has more than enough gold to afford 20 softs and even 10 houses. That would only drop his coffers by 100 grand. He has run out of heal potions as well, which he needs those very soon.
Very soon, as in like now. I think he has to exit out of the Earth Cave, to be honest. I mean, he may be able to do this, but with no armor on any of the mages, really, unless you count cloth armor. I mean, this is not... I mean, he's going to take some attrition damage.
I mean, counting cloth armor is like counting wearing a piece of paper.
Hey, at least it's not a cardboard box.
Okay, I got nothing for that one. I was trying to think of something and it's just like, no, nothing's coming up.
Well, and the wooden armor, aka the cardboard box, is actually slightly less useful than nothing at all because it actually drops your evasion quite a bit.
Yeah, the wooden armor itself being quite heavy. But cloth armor, I mean, you're getting hardly any absorb, but you're not losing any of your evasion, which is huge. Alright, Sledge checking the bottom 3 chests of Earth 2. Picks up a dragon mail.
Well, that's a pretty nice find. I think Sledge had opal... I'm not sure if Sledge had opal armor. But
Sledge has picked up the opal armor, but that dragon mail... I mean, I would take resistance of all elements. A katana as well, and an opal gauntlet from Sledge. Too bad there are no thieves in this seed.
yeah, I have to say, the katana would be nice for that ninja you don't have. And Jonathan Yoshi in the chat saying, cloth, cap, gloves, and you have the protection from being slightly chilly on a cold overworld trip.
But only about 3 absorb. Oh god, Spectres of Thunder!
Oh no. Well, this Earth Cave dive just got bad really fast.
That did. I looked over for 1 second at chat. The next thing I see when I look back, oh hey, Sledge is down 2 warriors. What just happened? Captainnerd is leaving Melmond and heading on through the world. And... no. This is a wipe for Sledge, just right there.
Rip. Oh no. And he's going back in without heal potions.
I don't like this. He knows he's looking for one loose. But at the same time...
You have ordeals!
Exactly what I was thinking. Because if that floater is in ordeals, there you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, it's alright. It is in ordeals. I mean... What else do you have to check at this point?
So right now, the only things that could be left from ordeals are the floater, the mystic key, the herb, or the cube. So, a couple questions in chat. There is still a loose item. 2 of the loose items have been found. The third one has not. And the loose canal has also been found. That was found fairly early in the seed. Now, Captainnerd has done a dive into Marsh, where Sledge has yet to do a dive into Marsh. But there was no loose item in Marsh. There was an X-Cal, and there was the defense sword. The shop item in Gaia very likely will be required. One of these turn-ins will yield the Opal Bracelet as well, if that is not the loose item. If the Opal Bracelet is the loose item, then Herb should yield Key. If not, something from Floater. Or Herb could yield Cube. And the same is true for the bottle, if that's the case. But that also means that the slab would yield either the bottle or the herb, unless it goes slab, bottle, herb to key somehow.
I think there's a possibility that there's non-floater required, but it's very slim.
Alright, Captainnerd has decided to dive into the ice cave. Sledge back onto the 3rd floor of Earth. He already wiped here once to the Thunder Specters. And is braving this again. Captainnerd losing the Red Mage to some Frost Dragons. Still not wearing any armor, really. Just getting hammered on by those Frost Dragons.
Yeah, we're an hour 12 minutes in, and there is no armor whatsoever for any of these mages. That's very uncommon. You'd think that at least there would be some sort of, like, silver bracelets that could be affordable now.
So Demon RHK asking in chat, as Sledge opens up a box with a gold bracelet, did we find the golds? Well, we found one! It's in Earth 3. Captainnerd picking up the crown from the ice cave. Still looking a little dicey right now, though. And Floater should be... Alright, Sledge approaching something here. I think it's a speed bump. OFD, what do you think about this enemy that Sledge is fighting?
What enemy?
Exactly. The one that doesn't exist anymore. But held a mage stick in his box, so...
Whose box?
I don't know. Lich's underling, we'll go with that. But that mage staff is definitely a nice find. For...
Oh, yeah, Floater would self-lock, which is impossible, right? Oh, yeah, Demon RHK makes a point. Floater would self-lock if it would have been elsewhere. So you're right, it is a Floater required C.
Alright, Sledge. Nearing the end of the Earth Cave, checking these last few boxes, does pick up a Zeus Gauntlet. Warps out and comes back down to the 4th floor, saving quite a few steps overall. And will also cut out quite a few encounters. A play that I am definitely a fan of. But here are these Gurimps coming up again that have Squint. And he gets away from them real quick. So, OFD, your Sledge. You know you've got one more loose item. You know you've got Ordeals on the table. You have the levels to clear C. You know you can clear Volcano. Where do you go next?
Well, first thing I do is I get some heal potions stat, and the second thing is I go to Ordeals yesterday. And Captainnerd down to just the white mage again.
Captainnerd. Playing a little risky, playing really loose right now. And Sledge getting into a really bad encounter overall. Almost suffering a death from it, but does make it out just fine. Captainnerd taking an overworld encounter and getting punished for doing so by having that white mage get punched out real fast. These Hydras are not playing around.
I'm just surprised Captainnerd is not saving. He's just save scum over all of this.
He is in the mode of YOLO. Let's go. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Alright, Thunders are coming out. And Sledge is down to 2 Light Warriors standing. The Red Mage and the White Mage.
Still, I think that, well, I would hope that, Lich is doable. With this low HP.
This is going to be a little unnerving. He gets out of the fight with the Earth Elemental. He makes it into Lich's room. He has no more encounters to worry about right now. He just has the orb with Lich in front of him to worry about. He's going to re-equip some of the warriors. He's going to move some stuff around. Equip the cap over the ribbon. And then realizes, no, I should not do that. Speaks to the orb. Speaks to Lich. Pulls Lich. Lich opens up with Fire 2, which is exactly what Sledge wants to see. One Fade comes out, 98 damage. Second Fade comes out, 236 damage. With that, though, Lich is still standing. I believe he just cast Exit by accident, but 186 from that third phase Fade takes down Lich. Sledge has the first Orblet of the run at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 43 seconds.
Wow. But still, no item out of her, so it was pretty much a dud.
Thank goodness Sledge made it out alive, as Captainnerd did take a wipe and got sent back to the start of Ice Cave. Sledge working on running back to Melman to use the N and save. Captainnerd heading back to Crescent Lake, taking the rivers, gets into a Kariba Ocho fight. Karibs have heal too, Ochos aren't hitting too hard, and the Karibs aren't hitting too terribly hard either. But the Karibs have fast. Zap coming out, missing. And with that, Captainnerd takes another wipe. Captainnerd just not in a good spot right now.
Oh man, just use the cabins.
He makes it out of the Pede fight, but just barely. Sledge making it to Elfland to revive the 2 dead Light Warriors. Making it through the Trip in the Seas, as Captainnerd makes it into the Crescent Lake Clinic to revive his 3 dead Light Warriors. And Sledge immediately ambushed by the wolves that have Nuke. Question in chat from Elimony: are the heals super expensive, or are they just not buying them? OFD, take it, my friend.
Well, the problem with this seed is that Crescent Lake did not have heal potions. Honorak did not have heal potions, and before that, in the early game, these players had no gold, so they never stopped to buy heal potions. And it's really one of those frustrating things. Now they have all the monies, but they just haven't found their way back to a shop that will sell heal potions.
And that's where the problem is right now, is finding those shops with heal potions and actually getting to them at a relatively quick speed. A little easier said than done. Sledge finally making the Castle Ordeals play. It's time to see how this Pillar Maze goes.
Did Sledge not buy heal potions when he was in Elfland? Because there's only 2 shops in the world that will not sell heal potions. Everywhere else will.
I don't think that he did. But Sledge has made some quick work of this Pillar Maze, and he is about to be out of it. There it is. Sledge is out of the Pillar Maze real quick. Steps onto the Nightmare Trap Tile and ends up fighting Mux. And now it's time to check these other boxes. Opal Gauntlet, 1,400 gold, almost 1,500. Just a few more boxes left to check here in Ordeals. About 5,000 gold, 10,000 gold, 16,000 gold, and another Opal piece of armor, the Opal Shield. And that's the cube from Ordeals. If you are a part of Team Sky, let that chant be heard. We have a loose floater in the world.
Oh no. Crab Cakes will love this one.
It'll be in Sky, or it will be in the depths of the sea.
Yeah, because I don't think either of these players finished checking the crack inside. But the mod-on favorite would, of course, be Sky Castle, or Sky Cave, as some veteran runners have come to call it.
Indeed. The Sky Castle, the Flying Fortress, the Sky Cave. The place of many names, the lair of Tiamat herself, may have that loose floater. Sledge, though, without heel pots, might have a really difficult time going through it.
And he's going for it. Did these runners make an agreement to not buy a heal potion?
I'm wondering that myself. I am really wondering that myself. Sledge, unable to run away from the Ankylo, does get it on the second round, though. Alright, Sledge, inside of Mirage Tower. We know that Mirage Tower is a bust, but we don't know what the Flying Fortress holds. And there are a lot of chests within the Flying Fortress. Captain Nerd, sitting at level 11 across the board. Still looking pretty low overall. And, oh hey! Stone poison! Coming from Catman.
No, Catman. No, Catman.
Sledge is probably not too terribly happy about seeing that stone poison. But does clear out the first floor of the Flying Fortress, resets out, and is now into the second floor with greater than less than room. Captain Nerd, exiting out of the volcano, gonna go ahead and make a save and start heading back down into the volcano.
Well, I just saw that Captain Nerd at least has heal potions, so that's good.
I saw a count of 76 on Captain Nerd's side, which, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, Sledge, continuing on through Mirage 2 as Captain Nerd is in the Volcano Armory. Or the Armory floor, shall I say. Will soon be getting that second ribbon. As well as the Sun Sword and the Vorpal. There's the Sun Sword, and behind this encounter will be the game changer itself, the Vorpal Sword, for Captain Nerd.
Well, with I believe he has Masa, Excal, defense, that Vorpal's not going to change many games, I believe, but still, it's a sword. You can sell it for money, which you probably don't need at this point.
And is it just me, or did something have Stone Touch on Sledge's side? Because that fighter was standing up, and the next thing I know, it's on one knee stone. Sledge immediately resetting out of the Sabertooth Catman encounter due to that stone poison coming up. And Sledge going with the mathematical play as well of doing the Flying Fortress in order to check for that floater is a very good play.
Well, I'd like to play better if people were stocked with heal potions and soft potions, because then that stone poison, I mean, it's annoying, but you can get out of it, slap on a couple softs, and you're good to go.
Yep, that stone poison becomes negligible at best. And speaking of stone poison, here it is!
Stop hammer time.
Oh, hey, look, more Catmen. More stone! Okay, Sarah, I love that.
No, Catman.
Boy. So, while we have a little bit of a lull in the action due to, we'll just call it RNG, do want to give a couple of shout-outs here. One to our tracker, Algebra, and another to our restreamer, MathGirl718. Both of them working very hard behind the scenes to help bring this race to you guys here on Randomania. And I want to give a shout out to One Fine Day for doing commentary with me.
Oh, and just to add insult to injury, here's some more Spectre guys.
Yeah, a lot of insult to injury there. But Sledge makes it through Mirage Tower, and we finally get to see what the Flying Fortress holds. Looking through the room with the 4 chests, there's the second katana, the only other katana in the seed.
There's one other thing that we're going to find here, and that's Badman. And with no armor on his mages, those Badmen are going to be a very terrible encounter to find.
He finds the other Pro Cape and leaves it for just a moment, just to run back to it. Gonna equip the Ice Shield, drop the Silver Shield, drop the cap, and is a little indecisive on dropping the Opal Armor.
Oh, you don't need the Opal Armor, you got Dragon at this point.
I have to agree, but he's going to go ahead and pick up that Pro Cape. Already have people calling for Warmech in chat. I love it. I love it!
Sledge is only still... I'm not sure what his levels are. I think they are... I thought they were 17, but I saw a 13 there. I think the Black Mage is underleveled compared to the rest of his party.
Sledge is skipping the bottom chest of Sky. Of Sky 1.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I know you don't want to fight the bad men, but I know they're bad. Those men are never okay. But I think you don't want to skip chests with as few as are here left to dig.
I am very inclined to agree with that. Skipping the chests here just does not lead to a good time. And Sledge also not having any heal potions is still not great. I'll put it that way. He does encounter a heal helm and 2,500 gold. So, Sledge is about to head towards the chest that holds the adamant in the vanilla game. Hopefully, there's something quite here. Ooh, Agama's had rub. Heal. A light axe in the adamant chest.
Well, Agma's having raw is an Agma effect you don't want to learn about.
No rub. I'll pass on rub. see you next fight where you can't cast Rub, Agamas. But Sledge is getting some really good EXP encounters right now. Has about level 20 across the board on the Light Warriors themselves. So question in chat from our restreamer, Math Girl. What does Rub do? Rub's an instant kill spell. Low accuracy, instant kill. Third ribbon found by Sledge in the chest next to where the black shirt would be in vanilla. And the text for Rub, if I remember correctly, is erased followed by terminated, similar to Quad X. But Quad X is a power word which requires an enemy to have 300 or less HP whenever the spell is cast on them.
Whereas Rub is just totally inaccurate, and against late game enemies, it will basically never land.
Ooh, Captainnerd getting a massive hit onto carry 1. 8 hits for 1,006 damage, taking out the Fiend of Fire, lighting his first orb at the hour 34-minute 58-second mark.
And that Massa is keeping Captainnerd in the game. He's caught up in levels. He's got 29 heal potions left. I think he will go and grab more. I hope he does.
Sledge finishes taking out some evil men.
Jonathan Yoshi in chat saying, yeah, it's a giant race to rub you out by the game's artist. Of course, the reality of the naming is, of course, Nintendo of America did not like to say kill or dead in their games. Because early 90s.
Yeah, they did have to deal with Nintendo censorship badly. Sledge exits out of Sky in order to use a house to refill spell charges. I am not sure how to feel about that.
I would feel very, very bad, and you know, I've done this before where I forget to buy heal potions because I'm trying to go fast. And I, you know, just forget to buy heal potions, or I can't buy heal potions because they're too expensive and I have no money. But you're an hour and a half into the seed. You've had opportunities to go back to item shops. You have to get something.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, but so far, that's not been how things have played out, which leaves me curious. I mean, I know that the soft prices are very high, and the heal potion prices are a bit higher than what they'd normally be, but there's no reason to have skipped out on buying heal potions when available to. Sledge still orphaning that southern chest on Sky 1.
Just does not want to see bad men.
It may be inevitable that that chest has the floater, and if it does, then Sledge is going to be in a really bad spot. And what Callum put in chat is a very big possibility. You may have forgotten that there's a chest there.
It's possible.
Checking the first 6 chests of Sky 3. And nothing. Finds a wooden stick, not using warp charges to warp back to the previous floor. And check the chests in a slightly more efficient manner. Runs across wizard vampires with Slep.
DN1988X in chat is asking, okay, what do bad men have that is so well bad? Well, bad men hit hard. Very, very hard. And these runners have no armor on 2 of their mages. So yeah, bad men are really, really bad to encounter.
I like how Demon RHK put it in chat. They punch like Tyson and come in 8 packs. That's pretty accurate. Alright, that's a house, a cabin, a pure potion, and 1,500 gold for Sledge. There are only 4 more chests here. Is he going to realize that he left a chest orphaned?
Well, he could go to Sea Shrine Krakenside as Sledge loses his red mage to a Chimera hit, another hard hitter.
Ooh, the hard hitters are out in force today. And he gets another Wizard Vampire pack with damage poison coming out. That's going to be the end of the Black Mage. Oh, Sledge is going to be in a slightly dicey situation. The Bridge of Destiny is coming up. If you want to see Warmech come up, get your Blessed RNGs out. The situation at hand, though, for Sledge right now, I don't want to see a Warmech on his side. But I wouldn't be against it.
Jonathan Yoshi asks, do they have life? No, they do not. Life is, I believe, confirmed at 7 or 8.
Sledge makes it through the Bridge of Destiny without getting a Warmech encounter. He still has that box on the southern side of Sky 1 to check. He has no black magic. He has the power bonk equipped onto the fighter. He can use that. Tiamat, 3 hits, 31 damage. Fighter swings, 4 hits, 103 with the Sun Sword. The Sledge putting more evasion stacks up. 2 hits, 159 with a crit. And Viz 2 coming out, giving more evasion. He's just going to keep stacking this evasion, making sure Tiamat cannot hit him. Fighter swings, 3 hits, 35. More invis coming out from that white mage. The last charge. But that's about it. 2 hits, 7 damage coming out. 3 hits for 50 from that fighter. Tiamat is not hitting very hard anymore. Fade coming out for 266 damage. 2 hits, 28 damage from Tiamat. 3 hits from the fighter with the Sun Sword, 452. No power bonk use done. But that Fade rolling for 320, dealing a lot of damage. And then the fighter swinging 4 hits for 100 as well. Whittling down Tiamat slowly but steadily. And that last Fade for 115 takes down Tiamat for Sledge. That is his second orb lit.
These peoples try to fade me. And somehow, Sledge got out of that without using a single heal potion.
Orphaned 1 chest. He checked every other chest in Mirage. He checked every other chest in Sky except for the southern chest of the first floor. There were 3 unresisted fades. We don't know if the floater has been left behind or not yet, because there still is the last bit of Krakenside that has to be checked in the Sea Shrine, which Sledge is heading to right now. Captainnerd, heading towards the last pillar in ordeals for the 4-way split of the pillar maze. Gets into a Medusa fight, is going to lit 3 of them down, get some nice EXP from them.
So I think we have it confirmed that the floater is either in Sea Shrine or that 1 chest in Sky that we missed. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Just imagine if Captainnerd's expedition into Sea Shrine, he tried to go to Krakenside, but he got beat back pretty quickly.
He did. Solario Rex, in chat asking, so we got ourselves a missing loose item? We do, and we know that that missing loose item is the floater. If it is not here on Kraken Side C, then that is going to spell bad news out for Sledge. Sledge purchasing some cabins, purchasing some pures.
Oh,
Potions. We are good.
Oh, there were heal potions in that. I just wondered why runners were not picking them up when we were here a long time ago.
X asking if Sledge missed Banesword chest. He did, and that chest is the southern chest of Sky 1. That is the chest I am referring to. Life is level 7, as we suspected, and Sledge does have level 7 charges now, is going to pick that up, and it's a massive pickup to have. With that, life has been obtained. Sledge has heal potions yet again, and is now diving into Kraken Side of C. So, one fine day, I'm going to ask you this question. Are you going to be hoping that that loose floater is sitting in the Banesword chest?
Oh, I'd hate to see it. That would be the saltiest.
Because the reason I ask you that is because, personally, I'd love to see it in that chest. But some people tend to call me evil anyway. And they wouldn't be wrong.
Solario Rex is asking, so he checked Snowflake's room? Yes, he did. He checked everything there.
The only chest that Sledge left in the floating fortress is the chest that's just south of the room you warp into. Sledge making use of the Zeus Gauntlet. I like this. Having both the Zeus Gauntlet and the Thor Hammer, and capitalizing on both of those while in Sea Shrine, definitely huge. Sledge still on a hunt for the loose floater. Gonna get into a fight with this Chimera. It is runnable. He is going to run. There's the loose floater for SledgeCalamy at the 1 hour 46 minute 49 second mark. Sledge is going to be in no mode.
Yeah, it's pretty much effectively go mode. You gotta ski-daddle to the end of this game, hopefully as soon as possible, and of course Zeke takes a tumble, but now we have life.
Having life, having floater, everything is good right now. Sledge is probably ecstatic right now, as Captainnerd is getting ready to enter the Sea Shrine again. C having 2 of the 3 loose items in the seed is huge. And then the last loose item, which was the Adamant, was found in the top left chest of Temple of Fiends. Mr. Kelly flew in saying they should knuckle up and just finish the seed without airship. That is actually impossible. They need the Mystic Key in order to finish out the seed.
No! SledgeCalamy! He is checking this trap tile chest that he doesn't have to check. He runs the Cockatrice mummy, and the Cockatrices were hiding damage poison. Fortunately, he gets out of the fight.
That he does, and he does have that life charge now that he can use. So he does have that going for him. He's got so much he can use now due to promotion being available. Unfortunately, if another one of the warriors dies, he will not be able to resurrect them. We've already got people in chat hoping that Chaos is absolutely nasty. Sphinxes have Cure 3, but they have hardly any HP. So, we have quite a few people wondering why Sledge is still checking chests even though he's theoretically in no mode. And I have to agree with what Demon RHK said in chat. He's got to be hunting Mosmune or Excal.
Now, personally, I would be pretty happy with Sunsword and Double Temper, but especially as late as as long as the seed's gone on, I think you really just have to go with what you have. You have 3 ribbons, you have the dragon armor, you have the tail.
I am in complete agreement. I mean, the tail, Sunsword, Vorpal, Fast, Temper, Power Bonk, and 3 ribbons. You're in a great situation overall. Captainnerd about to pick up the floater here on the opposite side of the sea shrine that the canoe was on. Either will be slightly upset or really happy. I don't think there's going to be an in-between for the reaction on this.
And chat saying, check's already a chest while promoting, but I know from Sledge's point of view, he probably wants to check those chests, but there really isn't much we could find in those chests. We got the 3 ribbons, we know where all the good swords are, we know where the dragon armor and oak armor are. I don't think there's really much left. We know where the defense sword is as well. And
the knowledge of every in-game sword is really nice. And now it's just who's going to actually go for it first.
Well, the way things are looking right now, I think Sledge has probably about a Tofu White lead over Captainnerd right now. But something can happen. I don't think Volcano is going to be a great danger.
I mean, we've seen crazier things happen, but right now, we have SledgeCalamy versus the Kraken. Trying to decide what to do with the Black Mage. Black Mage is going to fast the Fighter. Fighter is going to swing. That's 2 hits for 139. Invis 2 coming out from the White Mage. Hold going on to the Red Mage. Missing. Invis 2 coming out again. This time from the Red Mage. 2 stacks of evasion on the entire party. Just like that. More Invis 2 coming out from both the White and Red Mages. Temper going onto the Fighter. 3rd stack of Invis 2. 4th stack of Invis 2 going out. He's already at 4 evasion stacks. Temper going out onto the Fighter. Buffing the damage from the Sunsword. 4 hits for 135.
Now, one thing that is working in Captainnerd's advantage is that he has that Masa Sword, so he's going to save some time, and also he's going to go mode Air, obviously, which Sledge is already cleared, and he's going to go mode Earth, which Sledge is already cleared.
Indeed.
That Masa may come into play at the end game if the Fiend's just so tough.
going to be the question at this point. Is how bad will the Fiend refights be? Alright. Sledge has 3 orbs lit at the late 153 mark. Has to unearth the airship from the Ryukon Desert in order to obtain the Mystic Key. Whether it's through the bottle and herb, or slab and bottle, or slab and herb, or just the slab itself. We know that one will lead to the key. We know that the other will lead to the opal bracelet. The question now is, which will lead to which? We also know that the shop item is going to be in Gaia. So the question now is going to be, what play is Sledge going to make? Is he going to head straight towards Lefane and turn in that slab? Or is he going to head directly south after unearthing the airship, go to Gaia, buy the shop item, hope it's the bottle, and turn that at it?
I think you go for the slab first. I know it's a long walk, but the slab is right next to Gaia, and it might be the bottle. So, but there's people in the chat saying Gaia first, and there's arguments for that. The other things we could find, I believe, are... I think the only other thing we could find is the opal bracelet, which would be something nice for this party, actually, because we have been lacking armor for almost 2 hours.
Absolutely. Captainnerd does make it through the Kraken fight with only the fighter standing and has his second orb lit. We'll call it an hour and 56 minutes. Question in chat from ZoroX. Why is key required? Does it lock a door in Temple of Fiends Revisited? The answer to that is yes. There is a door that is just after the plate that you play the loot in front of in order to access the back of Temple of Fiends Revisited that is locked by the Mystic Key. If you do not have the Mystic Key, you cannot get through that door. That is the main door that tells you you don't have the Mystic Key. But overall, in Temple of Fiends Revisited, just about every door is locked by the Mystic Key. The herb is the shop item in Gaia, so Sledge will buy that for 45,000 gold and run out through the back end over by where the ferry would spawn after using the bottle. He does not have the bottle where he thought he did. So instead he's going to exit out and fly over towards Elfland to turn in the herb. Alright, turns in the herb, and the herb yields the opal bracelet. OFD, my friend. Really good call on the slab leading to the bottle. I have to give you props on that one.
Well, I mean, the opal bracelet isn't necessarily a bad thing.
So we know that Captainnerd is going to have to head to Lefane in order to get the bottle and then obtain the Mystic Key to be in Go mode. So there is the bottle from the Lefanish NPC. This bottle, as we know, will lead to the Mystic Key and put SledgeCalamy in go mode. Now, Captainnerd has decided to head directly towards Lefane, where Sledge went to Gaia, picked up the herb, and got the Opal Bracelet, which isn't bad either. And that Opal Bracelet, having very high absorb, best mage armor in the game, just slightly consuming on the time. Volcano is going to be go mode for Sledge. Captainnerd will be able to go mode both Sky and Earth Cave. So it's going to be a race of what happens to Sledge at this point. Because, like you said, OFD, one bad Topher wipe, and that could shift the lead into Captainnerd's favor.
Of course, one other thing working in Captainnerd's favor is that technically he really doesn't need to promote. Because he has that Masa, he has the Power Gauntlet, he has all the spells that he needs.
That is very true. Alright. 2 hours in, Sledge has promoted. He is ready to head into Volcano and then head back to the Temple of Fiends to return 2,000 years into the past and break this time loop. But first, a quick stop over here into Crescent Lake to pick up level 6 heal 3. Decides to not pick it up on the Red Mage. But he's going to pick up both Ice 3 and Fire 3, turns around, heads back in, and remembers he can pick up heal 3 onto that Red Wizard. So with Life 2 and Wall at level 8, it's not exactly the best to see. As well as Cure 4 being level 8, definitely not good to see at all.
I don't think these players I don't think these runners have any level 8 charges.
They do not yet. I believe Sledge is 1 level 8, or 1 level off. Question in chat from SolarioX. Is Wall level 8 in vanilla? Yes, it is. Captainnerd picking up the bottle before coming here to Gaia, saving a little bit of time on Sledge, getting that key, being put into go mode, having collected every single key item in the seed, and is ready to ascend to the skies. As Sledge is going through the volcano right now. Captainnerd, instead, heading towards... Looks like he's heading towards Canaria. One fine day, is he going to do what I think he's about to do? Is he going to pick up softs?
I hope so.
Picking up a bunch of houses, no softs. He is going to stop to resurrect a Light Warrior, though.
I'm a bit surprised that he would not buy soft. I mean, buy houses this late. You don't need 20 houses now.
I have to agree right now, and Captain Nerd is still going to check boxes at this point. Where Sledge has made it to the lair of Carrie again. There's the Bane Sword for Captain Nerd. And Sledge has moved equipment around, has some really good stuff equipped onto the Knight. Has moved the Power Bonk into slot 1. And now has the Vorpal equipped onto the Red Wizard. You know, that's something I can't really question, but he does pull carry 1. And Viz 2's going out. Fast has been targeted onto the Knight. Carry swings at the Black Wizard, hitting it for 181 damage, dropping it down to a knee. Fast goes off after the Knight swings for about 200 damage. Temper going out onto the Red Wizard. Or Fast, I'm sorry. I saw Temper. 8 hits for 603 from that fasted Knight. He's going again. And he's going to throw Nuke out this time, but 8 hits for 433 seals the deal against Carrie. That is Sledge's 4th Orbital hit. He's ready to enter Topher at the 2-hour, 5-minute, 35-second mark. Captain Nerd still has 2 orbs left to light. Where Sledge has all 4 orbs lit. The only advantage Captain Nerd has over Sledge right now is that Captain Nerd has the Mosmune, where Sledge does not. Captain Nerd has the Defense Sword, where Sledge does not. That's it. Sledge just hit level 24, I believe, on the Knight. Captain Nerd, though, is sitting slightly under-leveled, I believe right around 19 across the board. At the 2-hour, 6-minute, 47-second mark, SledgeCalamy has entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited. These purple worms hitting Sledge's Black Wizard really hard. Just no mercy whatsoever. Over 200 damage right there. So one fine day, what are you hoping to see from the Fiends here in Topher?
Well, for Captain Nerd's sake, I'm hoping it's something rough. Because he needs that Masa to pay dividends.
So you're thinking something a little bit like, I don't know, Nuke into Nuclear?
Nuclear would do quite a bit of damage to these parties. Oh, lit 3 for these mages, just soaking up a lot of time.
Yeah, and as our good buddy Czar in chat points out, these mages are lit. We've already got people in chat, specifically Cannibert right now, calling out Kraken will have nuclear, Tiamat will hit hard, and Chaos will have nuclear into Cure 4. And the Phantom tile is one of the best tiles to see with the B-side trap tiles. It is the Third Eye Grind.
Oh, we would have liked this a lot earlier.
Seeing this a lot earlier would have been very nice. But with that, The only light warrior that Sledge has that isn't sitting at 24 is the Black Wizard. All the other warriors are at 24. Sledge has broken the plate to go into the back of Temple of Fiends Revisited at we'll call it the 2 hour 9 minute mark. As Captain Nerd is just getting hammered down by thunder from these specters, makes it through, and is ready to continue on in the Flying Fortress, where Sledge just lost the Black Mage to this Frost Giant Frost Wolf pack. And he's going to continue pushing on. Going to cast Harm 4 onto the zombie dragons, use the Thor Hammer against them to try to eke out a little bit of chip damage. Harm 4 coming out. Is it going to take out any of the zombie dragons? It is not. He's going to reset out, and he's going to use a house and then get blocked by the bats. He's trying to save the life charges right now. The sleeping wizard vampires have struck back with a zombie dragon alongside them. Captain Nerd checking some of the greed chests in Sky 3. Wizard vampire bringing out the damage poison. Sledge resets out of that. So, one fine day, you're in Sledge's position, you're in Temple of Fiends Revisited, you're probably feeling behind. Do you take a grind on the eye tile, or just continue on?
Yeah, you go on at this point. You have to go on. Topher, I don't like to do a grind unless I absolutely have no other option other than grind levels or go back in the world to find some piece of gear that I missed.
I like that. I like that. So, Sledge does make it through the Mage Fighter encounter. Decides to not revive the Black Mage just yet. Comes onto the eye tile. His eyes have cremate, but outside of that, not much else to speak for. He does end up showing the fancy hat instead of using the mage staff, which I imagine was a mismenu. And those happen. Let's get a war mech from Captain Nerd, but Captain Nerd instead resets out due to the wizard vampires. We were denied of that. Sledge re-entering the back of Topher at 2 hours, 12 minutes, 30 seconds. Gets the hero run through the second floor. Sledge now into the back half of Temple of Fiends Revisited, about to be on to the floors of the Fiend refights. Captain Nerd is reascending the Mirage Tower, trying to head back into the floating fortress. Full-on vampire pack, 5 vampires. And now Catman looking at Captain Nerd. Captain Nerd gets initiative, gets away from both of those packs very quickly as he encounters the blue dragon tile that holds the Thunder Specters and 5 Geist.
Meanwhile, Sledge... Go ahead.
Oh, you first.
Oh, and meanwhile, Sledge just found some chimeras. Chimera.
But our good friend Jim's not in that pack. And if you're wondering what I'm referring to, there's another one called Chimera. Sledge taking a wrong turn. This could be bad for him. Frost Dragons are missing. Question in chat, what is a Chimera though? The evolved form of a Chimera. That's the best I got. But SledgeCalamy has entered the Earth floor of Temple of Fiends Revisited. Quite literally, as he gets back-to-back Earth Elemental encounters. Captainnerd about to be closing in on the Bridge of Destiny. If you all want to see Warmech, get your Bless RNGs out. He gets a Wizard Vampire pack with 2 of them this time around. Gets initiative, gets away from them very quickly. A double fighter pack. Sledge is going to go ahead and revive the Black Mage. Captainnerd has entered the Bridge of Destiny. Starts off with some Red Hydras. As Sledge pulls Lich 2. We've got attacks, we've got Fade, and we've got Fast going on to the night. 3 hits, 103 from the Vorpal. Fade for 102. Lich attacks for 20 on the night. Fast going out on the night. Night swings, 8 hits, 323. Lich is still standing. We have more fight. We have Zeus Gauntlet and Mage Staff. The Red Wizard swings for about 70 damage. 110, 317 from the Fighter. 110 from the Mage Staff. 60 from the Black Wizard. We also have Tiamat pulled over on Captainnerd's side. Sledge takes down Lich 2, is onto the fire floor. Captainnerd goes to Brat Tiamat, misses, Fast onto the Fighter, as well as the Power Bonk. Invis 2 coming out. Getting evasion, getting power, getting speed. We have more Brat coming out. We have a change in strategy for a moment, as Captainnerd sticks to the Brack Strats. And Banesword as well. More Invis 2 comes out. Brat comes out. Ineffective. Sledge pulls Carry 2. Swing from the Mosmian. 8 hits, 826. As Sledge Invis 2's his party. 4 hits for 27 damage onto Carry 2. Captainnerd, 8 hits, 784 on Tiamat 1, gets Tiamat 1 down. As Sledge continues to fight Carry 2. We have Fade coming out. That's 84 damage, resisted. Lock 2 coming out, making Carry easier to hit. 8 hits for 28 damage. There is Nuclear coming out, taking down 2 warriors just like that.
Oh no, this could be bad for Sledge. And Captainnerd only has the Earth Cave to go, so he'll be in tow first soon enough. Well, he's going to promote first.
He does. Sledge still does have life, though. He is going to Powerbonk up the Fighter. And Carry is going to Fast. This could be really bad. 8 hits for 295 is going to kill Carry 2, though, and get Sledge out of a situation that could have been absolutely terrible. Those last 2 life charges have been used by Sledge. He is in a bit of a bind because he cannot afford to lose any more of his light warriors. Alright, Sledge has made it through Carry 2. He's made it through Lich 2. He's now on to Kraken 2's floor, the water floor.
Chat saying Sledge does not have good odds to win. I don't think his odds are great, are very great, but I don't think it's a lost cause either. If I were in Sledge's position, I would want to use a far more aggressive strat. Tempers, fades, use your nukes once you have your knight sufficiently tempered up. You have to go offensive on these fights.
At this point, I have to agree.
Well, there goes the Black Mage. Nothing you can do about that.
Yes, Kraken 2 attacking right off the bat, 667 damage, but 4 hits coming in from the Knight for about 148, so not too terrible overall on that damage. Power Bonk going out, Fade going out, Fade for 92, Kraken 2 giving a lit 2, that makes it a free turn for Sledge. Another Fade going out, 145. These Fades are not doing too much damage, but even that chip damage is better than nothing. Sledge is going to try bracking Kraken 2. There's a low chance of this working. It was ineffective. Stop coming out. Stop misses all of the Light Warriors. 3 hits for 127 though from Sledge's Knight. 37 damage from the Vorpal with 1 hit. Rub coming out, missing the Red Wizard. 4 hits for 244 from the Knight with the Sun Sword. Ice 3 coming out, dealing chip damage yet again. 3 hits, 3 damage from the Vorpal. There's where the Vorpal really shows how bad it can be whenever it does not get a critical hit. We have more damage coming out, but slow to connect.
Oh, you gotta get fast on that Knight. You gotta get that fast going.
He's gonna continue fighting like this. 3 hits, 88 damage, there's a crit. Stop coming out again. He's gonna take 45 damage. You gotta get your damage spells going. You gotta damage race this Kraken. He's not doing much, but... And there's Cure 4!
Oh no.
Sledge has got to be upset after that. 2 hits for 116 going out onto the Knight, who has Dragon Armor equipped. He's got so much gear equipped right now. Sledge is in a damage race right now, and he needs to start piling it on quickly. Kraken has looped in his spell list.
Well, Kraken gave him enough time to just throw out all those fades or throw out a couple tempers to buff up that Knight.
3 hits for 470 coming out from the Knight. Damage is starting to pile on now. Tier 3 going on to the Red Mage. Oh, the Knight is down to 1 knee! That was 4 hits for 423, but 4 hits for 557 is a massive chunk taken out of Kraken. Kraken is not down yet. Another swing for the Knight. 3 hits, 347. Kraken 2 goes down! Oh my gosh!
Channeling Will Cleosis is that calling of the match.
Little bit. Kraken 2, living up to the name of being a gatekeeper, he says, "No, I'm not a pushover. I don't care what you think. You are going to bend to my will." And Sledge does not have a lot of healing magic left over. He doesn't have a lot of Invis 2 charges left over. He has no life charges right now.
Well, this is why I say Fiends can't kill you when they're dead. So one of the best things to do is just get into a damage race if you're worried about wiping. That way you don't see the nuke or the nuclear or take a whacking to the face.
I have to agree. I really have to agree on that one.
But I think Sledge wants to save those fades for Tia, who is also a hard hitter.
The question is Sledge going to make it through Tia 2 as Sledge pulls Tiamat 2 here at the 2 hour, 24 minute, 20 second mark? Defensive strats coming out, but Tiamat 2 gets initiative and hits the Red Mage, the other fast caster, for 637 damage. Just like that, the Red Wizard is down.
And that's also his evasion stacks. This is now I do not like Sledge's chances of winning this.
I don't like Sledge's chances either. Captainnerd is going to need levels if he wants to pull a win out from this.
I don't think you need levels. I just think you need to take an offensive strategy throughout this Topher. Kraken had the Cure 4, but I think only had about 1,000 HP, so you can slap fast and just chuck phase and nukes at him. He'll go down, because that Cure 4 was buried pretty deep into his spell list.
And there's the wipe for Sledge from a nuke Tiamat 2.
Oh, wow. And this is now Captainnerd's. If Captainnerd has a chance to come back.
I hate to say it, but at the same time I love to say it. Sledge needs to move that Vorpal off of the Red Wizard and move it onto the Fighter.
Yeah, I agree with that. You can't really rely on Sun Sword against Tia 2 or Kraken 2. You need something that will be able to crit, because that's going to be your damage.
Even our good buddy Lynn the Cat, who just came back to the scene, is agreeing with moving the Vorpal over to the Knight. Good to see you, Lynn the Cat.
For this situation here with Cure 4 Kraken and Nuke Tia, is just going to make that Masamune on Captainnerd so much more valuable if he adopts the proper strategy with that, which is to chuck Tempers onto it and chuck a Fast onto it, throw out your Fade.
So there was one problem with that, though, and that was how evasive Tia 2 is. Because Tia 2 is extremely evasive. The Sun Sword was not hitting. And if that's the case, then there's a high likelihood that even the Maza would not be able to connect as much against Tia 2.
Yeah, it's true, but even if you're getting a Fast off, because remember, Sledge did not have Fast for that fight. And let's say you get like 2 or 3 out of 10 potential hits on the Masa, that's still doing significant damage, and I believe both these runners do have lock. Not sure if they do.
I'm not 100% certain either, because I didn't really check Sledge's Black Magic list. I'm fairly certain that Captainnerd does, though.
Oh, and Sledge's Black Mage is taking another dirt nap.
He got taken out by Lit 3 from the Mages on the 3rd floor of Temple of Fiends.
Hey guys, Ren the Cat saying on chat, hey guys on comms, Sun Sword is not an endgame sword. Sun Sword itself is not an endgame sword, but Sun Sword in a lot of tempers is good enough for endgame. It's just a matter of actually using it. Sledge did not bring out the tempers, and I'm a bit surprised that he didn't bring out, a couple rounds of temper to bring that Sun Sword up to something respectable.
Absolutely. At the 2 hour, 28 minute, 20 second mark, Captainnerd2 has entered Topher. Spider MBI after coming back, asks, has Temple of Fiends Revisited been rough? The answer in short is yes. We have a Cure 4 Kraken who hits like a truck. We have a Nuke Tiamat who hits like a truck. And we have not enough charges to really be able to make it through this viably. Carry has nuclear and does a lot of damage. And Lich just has health right now. This race has gone from being a decent spread in Sledge's favor to now being extremely close with both runners here in the Temple of Fiends Revisited as Sledge takes on Lich 2 again. 4 hits for 221 from the Knight. Fade coming out, 308 damage, not resisted. A Mage Staff comes out, 100 damage on the nose. Zeus Gauntlet, not doing much damage. Blizzard comes out, does not take out the Black Wizard. 8 hits for 482. Takes down Lich 2 again for Sledge. Our restreamer Math Girl asking if Sledge wiped. He did wipe at Tiamat 2 due to a nuke that came out at an inopportune time. Captainnerd needing levels and has about 3 levels less than Sledge right now. 3 to 4. As Sledge runs into the unrunnable Agamas. They start throwing out Slep. Sledge just has 1 Agama remaining. Captainnerd gaining levels really fast. Making use of the high EXP encounters in Temple of Fiends Revisited. Mr. R. Kelly flew in saying, I'm sorry, you say that as if there is an opportune time for Nuke to come out. There is. It's called when you're casting Nuke. Sledge going through equipment, checking everything as Captainnerd has made it through the 3-eye tile. Sledge pulling Carry 2. Going with the defensive strats instead of going all-out offense.
Yeah, I disagree with this. I don't think Carry had that much HP, and you want to just hopefully not see the nuclear at all. But if she does bring the nuclear, you don't want whatever follows it to wipe a party member.
I have to agree, and he survives with all 4 Light Warriors up. Gets a Power Bonk off, gets a Fast off, and starts attacking. Has no heal 3 charges on the Red Wizard. Has 1 heal 3 charge left on the White Wizard. And goes to cast Nuke with the Black Wizard. I like this. Stun coming out, it's ineffective. 3 hits, 3 damage from the Red Mage. Nuke comes out 167. 8 hits for 290 from the Vorpal. Takes down Carry 2. Sledge, with more life charges than last time, is in a much better position than he was. He's going to have to make it through this really strong Kraken, though. So, OFD, coming up against Kraken, do you go all-out defense, or do you go slightly defensive at the start and then switch to full-on offense?
go offense from the start before Cure 4 lands. Because Cure 4 is going to just drag out that fight much longer than it needs to be.
Sledge. Pulling. Kraken 2. Going to decide to go slightly defensive right now and get the offense prepared on top of 2 Invis stack. Lit 2 coming out from Kraken. The Black Wizard without the ribbon is taking a lot of damage. Power Bonk coming out. Gonna increase the damage output. Temper going out onto the Knight. And this is where the all-out offense comes into play. 7 hits for 622 on Kraken from that Knight. Stop misses the Black Wizard, which is huge. 2 more Tempers go out. Sledge has Kraken right where he wants him. He's deciding which spell he wants to use. He's going to go ahead and try Brack. Kraken goes to rub the Knight, who's wearing a ribbon. It doesn't work. 5 hits for 582. Kraken's got to be really close to dead. Brack comes out. Oh, what the heck? Broken into pieces!
Well, I think a Lit 3 or a Nuke there would do the job. Still, it's kind of a swag.
A glorious Brack coming out from Sledge. Tiamat2 took Sledge out last time. Sledge has changed how he has his party equipped ever so slightly with that Knight wielding the Vorpal. He will be able to get through the evasiveness of this Tia. As Captainnerd has made it through Lich 2 and is onward to carry 2. Lock 2 going out, making Tia 2 easier to hit. Fade coming out, 146 damage. Temper onto the Knight. And more offense just coming out. Sledge has decided to go full offense. 155 from Fade. 3 hits, 257 from the Vorpal. Another Fade, 156. Nuke coming out from the Black Wizard, 250 damage. But there's the Nuke coming out from Tia in response, dropping everybody down to a knee. Tiamat! Oh, no! Nuclear! Tiamat 2!
Wow, and Captainnerd's now in the lead! Oh my!
Nerd has taken the lead. That was the absolute worst that could happen to Sledge. And it just happened. The Nuke max rolled the fighter, and that was all that needed to happen. Captainnerd just got the lead.
I just had the feeling that he should have just gone all offense. He spent that first round with the Invis 2s. He never finished building up the stacks. But Invis 2 isn't going to protect you against Nuke or Nuclear.
Nothing will protect you against Nuke or Nuclear.
Well, killing Tiamat would get you past Nuke and Nuclear.
This is true. Alright, Captainnerd. Captainnerd is approaching Kraken 2. Stuck in a water elemental encounter. One tile later, gets another water elemental encounter. Has not healed up between the encounters. Makes it out. He's playing a little risky. He has 1 life charge. Still has a few heal 3 charges. He does have the potential to brat Kraken 2 like Sledge did, and Sledge has decided to take the eye grind.
I think Sledge, from Sledge's perspective, he feels like he has to do that, and we don't know how much HP Tiamat2 has. But just a Vorpal Sword and still somewhat limited temper charges, this may be called for, but it's gonna just put him in a deeper hole against Captainnerd. I think you just have to keep throwing yourself at it until you get past it. As long as the seed has progressed, we're at almost a 2-hour, 40-minute mark. So you gotta get going. Jonathan Yoshi asks, "Is Chaos only one nuke now?" There are 3 nukes in the Fiend pool. We've seen 1, I believe. So there are 2 nukes left in the pool. They may have been rolled on Warmech or the other Fiends. And I believe we've seen how many nuclears? We've seen 2 nuclears.
Get the best Kraken fight I've ever seen. Sorry, OFD. I just got excited over that Kraken kill. That Mazda swing 1475 though.
And that's where the Masamune is just so desired.
I just saw the damage come out from that and I went, oh god, let's do this. Captainnerd approaching Tiamat2, the gatekeeper, due to nuclear. And he is doing this right, going offense all the way.
That's just his best single Invis 2 cast. I think you just do a fade here, to be honest.
Here we go. How much damage is going to come out from this? Brat going out, ineffective. Thorhammer attack doesn't hit. 3 hits for 208 damage, but 5 hits for 694 onto that Black Mage. He does have Lock 2. He can opt to use that, but he does not know that Tia 2 is sitting on Nuke followed by Nuclear. Invis 2 comes out. Ace swinging the Mazda, 1 hit for 75.
Well, I can see that he's worried about a melee after seeing his Black Wizard drop to a 600 plus damage 5-hit attack from Tia, but I still think you have to just put on the afterburners, go offense. He's getting that power gauntlet. He's going to be low on temper charges.
Captainnerd is in kill range of Nuclear, is in kill range of Nuke. There's Nuclear. None of the Light Warriors die. But 7 hits for 1,123 takes down Tia 2!
Wow. One bad thing for
Go ahead.
One thing bad thing for Captainnerd, he's running low on heal potions. He does have some healing magic left. I'm not sure if he has life.
I think he still has 1 charge of life. But there is only one thing that stands between Captainnerd and victory. Sledge checking the validation chests. An encounter shows up for Captainnerd. He's going to attempt to run away from it. These air elementals hit quite hard. He's trying to run. He can't run from 2 of the Light Warriors. But the 3rd one does manage to get the run. The chances of him making it through Chaos right now are not likely, but it's far from impossible.
Captainnerd doing a victory lap!
He is going to heal up the Light Warriors to the best of his ability. He wants to make sure that he is looking good going into Chaos.
He's not going to have that Black Wizard. He has no life charges left.
He
does have enough.
He's reserving 1 heal 3 charge for the fight. And at the 2-hour, 43-minute, 50-second mark, he pulls Chaos, opening up with a power bonk, Invis 2, and fast. Chaos swings for 103 damage onto the Knight. More power bonk comes out. More Invis 2 coming out. And Fade. Fade on Chaos for 316, not resisted. Another stack of Invis 2 comes out. Chaos still able to connect for 128 damage. Temper coming out onto the Knight. Heal 3 coming out. 10 hits for 975. That was a critical hit from the Knight. Big swing coming out. Temper onto the Knight. This is going to be even bigger. We have one last Invis 2 coming out. This could be the Invis 2 that makes the Knight untouchable. Lit 2 comes out from Chaos, dealing chip damage overall. 2 hits, 2 damage from the White Wizard. 10 hits, I didn't get to see the damage values. Invis 2 comes out. This is it for Chaos. Chaos is probably down to about 1 knee. 1 hit, 1 damage. Fade comes out, 152. Ace, the Knight swings, 10 hits, 824. Lit 2 comes out. Again from Chaos. Chip damage being dealt. Ace swings, 10 hits, 1843. That is GG's for Captainnerd2, finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 45 minutes, 18 seconds.
GG. Wow, that was a long one. And it all came down to having the Masa Moon. Technically, Marsh did not hold the Masa. It was in Sea Shrine, but SledgeCalamy, the one chest he doesn't check there, is that chest. Not that fine chest, but the chest north of it. That just decided the game.
Now, the only unfortunate thing with these two runners is that even though Captainnerd did win, he won't be advancing any farther in the tournament. This was just to find out what his final record was, and he just put on one heck of a show. So with that, Captainnerd finishes out at 2-4, where Sledge finishes out at 1-5. We have both of them in voice. Give me one moment, and we will have them both in here. We are joined by both SledgeCalamy and Captainnerd2. GG's to you both.
Thanks.
GG.
G to you.
So Sledge, I have a question for you that I know One Fine Day has for you as well.
How annoyed I am?
No. I mean, it may fall something along the lines of that. But why did you not go back to grab heal potions throughout most of the season?
I kept forgetting. And I'm like, it's too time consuming going back, so I just kept going.
What would do it?
I know.
So, the other question I have right now is you get to Tiamat 2, and you're fighting her.
Yep.
You see that nuke come out, and you're like, well, crap, I know what I need to be prepared for.
Yep.
You get to her again.
Mm-hmm.
You see nuclear. How much did your heart sink?
Nuclear, I'm like, there's no way I'm going through this without more levels. And I'm like, okay, I just lost a seed right there.
Captainnerd. So, you had a pretty rough go of the seed. You got bounced back from a lot of different areas. What was going through your mind as you got bounced back through areas? I'll ask you that again here in a sec, Captain Nerd. I do believe that some audio issues are going on right now. Sledge. So,
Yeah.
you're in Sea Shrine.
Mhm.
You find the floater, and you find it about 2 minutes before Captain Nerd does. How did you feel when you found that floater?
I was annoyed because it was my second dive into Sea Shrine. If I would have searched that side, I would have had the floater right off the bat.
However,
Sonic,
you
can you
you
hear me?
yeah.
Okay.
However, you did find that canoe first as well. So, what was going through your mind when you found the canoe?
I found the canoe. Most seats that I've been going through lately have been giving me issues that the key item for progression is always in Sea Shrine. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to, not Sea Shrine, but in Ice Caverns. So I'm like, okay. Well, I got the canoe. I doubt there's a second key item here. I don't have the levels for Kraken. Let's go to Ice Caverns.
Captain, let's see if we can hear you real quick, because I imagine there were some audio issues going on. I don't know if you were able to get them worked out or not. Unfortunately, you are still quiet, my friend. So, Sledge.
Yep.
I have some bad news for you.
What?
You know the chest on the mermaid side of sea that you ended up wiping out of?
Yeah. That
Would you like
was
to take
Massa?
I was about to ask, would you like to take a wild guess as to what it was? It was the massa.
That would have made my life so much easier.
Sea Shrine was quite literally loaded. And on top of that, Captain Nerd did a dive into Marsh and pulled out the Excalibur and the defense sword from Marsh.
Oh, nice.
So there were a lot of goodies in areas that you wouldn't entirely think to explore.
Yeah, I agree.
But you have ended this tournament at 1-5. You've had a rough go of the tournament, but outside of that, how are you feeling, my friend?
I had fun. I was expecting to go 0-6 anyways. I was not expecting to go far.
Hey, there you go, though. You did get the 1-5, and that's the thing that matters the most.
Not with all the new runners that have been coming out lately. I was not expecting much.
One fine day. Do you have any questions for Sledge by chance?
No, I'm not really a good interviewer. I leave that to you guys.
All good, all good. We're trying to figure out what's going on with Captain Nerd's mic, but I do have to give you both huge props for going through
the mobs.
So, first off, there's a bit of superstition from Math Girl that the seeds she rolls are absolutely terrible, which personally I'll disagree with. They're not absolutely terrible. You just have to know how to play them. But you did dodge a few bullets that Captain Nerd kind of hit.
Really?
The wolves, they opened up with fire.
Yep.
They led into sleep.
Yep. That I
Did you
saw.
did you see the nuke from them?
Nope. I
Yeah.
saw fire, I saw fire, and I saw sleep. I'm like, I'm not fighting them. I'm running away, or I'm one-shotting.
No,
I'm not
you would have been hit with nuke if you had not gotten out of there.
So after fires and nukes, I'm like, no. And the fires and sleeps, I'm like, there's no way I'm dealing with it.
And I do have to agree with what people are saying in chat. You guys put on one heck of a show. You guys also ran me out of breath a couple of times.
Really now. And that's hard to do.
So, unfortunately, with Captainnerd or Victor, I'm still having a couple mic issues. Honestly, Sledge, I don't think I have any more questions that I can ask you off the top of my head, unless you guys in chat have anything that you want to know. But I will ask you, my friend, you have gone through the 6 weeks of the Swiss stage. You've been through every element, and now you've been through Chaos Week. Unfortunately, you are out of the tournament.
Yeah.
But what are your final thoughts on the tournament itself, since...
You know, like I said, there's a lot of good players this year. Hey, what, are you still undefeated? I think you're running 5-0.
Yeah, I am.
So, yeah, there's a lot of good players this year. It's going to be interesting to see the bracket stage coming up.
And that is definitely something people may want to stay tuned for. Let's check to see if we can hear you, Captainnerd.
Okay, can you hear me right now?
Yes.
We can hear you now. There we go, my friend.
Sorry about that. It seems my other headphone, my mic must have shortened out. Sorry about that.
Gotcha. So, chat saying you are very quiet, but that's okay. I actually have a couple of questions for you. Let's get to the first one. So your early game, you have a bit of a rough go of it. You get bounced out of so many different dungeons. How frustrated were you after getting bounced out of all of the dungeons you were bounced out of?
Honestly, I was to the point to where I was about to really bash my head against a wall. That's how frustrated I was.
That would make sense.
But I kept my mind in focus and straightened out until I got it.
And that's one of the toughest things to do in Final Fantasy Randomizer, is keeping yourself from going on complete tilt. That is something that should be commended. The next question I have is, you're in the Sea Shrine, and you make it up to Mermaids. You head down, and you're ready to start checking the chest. You skip where the canoe is, and then you come back and grab the canoe. How behind did you feel when you did pick up that canoe?
I felt like I was quite behind, because the way they were, the two key items were put, I was like, okay, who in the heck put the two same key items in two different areas at the same dungeon?
Yeah, that would definitely do it. I do have to say, you fought through so many different trials and tribulations to get that comeback win, because Sledge was a good, I'd say probably 15 to 20 minutes ahead of you. Even though you both did grab the floater right about the same time, it was 2 minutes apart. Sledge had more Fiend dungeons completed than you for most of the seed.
I had 3 Fiend dungeons cleared at that point, I think.
Yeah, apparently I didn't exactly get in the go mode until I got the key.
Correct. That was the last key item that both of you needed in order to actually achieve go mode. But you did have one massive advantage over Sledge, and that was having the Mazmune.
Yeah.
Now, I talk about the Vorpal, I talk about the Mazmune, I talk about the Defense Sword, I talk about the Katana. But in this seed, the Mazmune definitely was the MVP. When you found it, did you start jumping for joy or anything like that?
I was like, booyah! Finally, I got something good for my fighter.
Yeah, when
That was-
I got to that chest, I had a white mage standing alone at 10 HP. And I'm like, there's no way I can take that trap top.
Alright, Captainnerd. So you are ending your run of the tournament at 2-4. I imagine you're feeling pretty happy about that record.
Well, yes and no, exactly. Yes, because I finally was able to win one and not really rage and forfeit at this time. And no, there's sometimes that that I may end up losing if my opponent had been able to prepare ahead of time. I would have lost right there and then. Those were the yes and no's to my record.
That makes sense. But I still commend you for sticking it through all 6 weeks of the Swiss stage of the tournament. It does say a lot to do that. And even with some of the people that have dropped, they stuck through some extremely tough opponents as well. And they deserve all the commendation as well. You two, Captainnerd and Sledge, being matched up, I saw this match and I went, I want to call this match, but it's going to be very time dependent. And I gotta say, I'm glad I called this match. And I'm glad one fine day that you joined me for calling this match.
I'm glad to join you too. It was a fun match coming up to the end. And really, the whole way, it was an interesting seed. It was a very difficult and trolly seed too.
It really was.
A lot of running back and forth I've noticed with the key items.
Captainnerd, do you have any final thoughts on the seed? Any final thoughts on your run in the tournament as well?
Well, my final thoughts on the seed, it was completely brutal. A lot harder than other seeds I've faced recently. And as for my run, well, whether I win or lose, I still learn a little bit better, you know?
There you go. I like it. One fine day, my friend. Any final thoughts about the race tonight?
Well, I just want to congratulate Captainnerd on his first tournament win. I think he ran in the last tournament as well. Just want to thank Speed Gaming and the tracker, the restreamer, Feasel. Well, I don't know if Feasel runs. I think he runs Randomania. Anyway, yeah.
It's Math Girl.
Oh, Math Girl runs Randomania?
Math Girl is doing the restream.
I know, but I was wondering who runs Randomania.
Oh, Game Boy F9 is the person that runs Randomania.
Oh, well, thanks Game Boy F9 then. Yeah, I thought he ran both of them, but I guess I don't know. Okay.
I got you, OFD. Don't worry.
Anyway,
it's okay. Blooper reel. There we go.
Anyway, yeah, I want to thank Randomania for putting this on. I want to thank Speed Gaming for putting on their tournaments. I want to thank RPG Limit Break for putting on their games for the tournament. I want to thank Dark Moon for his restreams of a few races. I want to thank the guys at FFR After Dark, where we get all nasty and raunchy. I want to thank SledgeCalamy for putting on a good race today. I want to thank my co-commentary Sonny for showing up, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I want to echo those thanks. Huge thanks to Math Girl for doing the restream. All the networks that we've been able to have the tournament on so far. Randomania, the network that we're on right now. Definitely be sure to give them the entire family of Randomania channels a follow. The Speed Gaming Network, definitely give the entire Speed Gaming Network a follow. RPG Limit Break, where I will be racing Demarine on Saturday. Definitely give them a follow. We have more matches coming up tonight, as well as throughout the rest of the week. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I want to give another huge thanks to our tracker, Ali Jabrap, a good friend of mine that ran with me in my first tournament for Final Fantasy Randomizer. Huge shout outs to you, my friend, for doing the tracking. Thank you for doing that. One fine day. Massive shout outs to you, my friend, for doing commentary with me. Captain Nerd, Sledge, both of you get absolutely gigantic shout outs for putting on such an entertaining show. You guys played extremely well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
On behalf of our tracker, Ali Jabrat, our restreamer, MathGirl718, our two runners, Captainnerd2 and SledgeCalamy, my co-commentator, One Fine Day, I am Sonny Wrath 11. Thank you all for watching. Have a great evening, and remember to keep the power of the orbs alive. We will see you for the next match of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2020.